app, Chronological Bible in a Year, 2 Corinthians 10 through 13. I had it opened up to 1 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 10. Okay, these are pretty small chapters, but they're good. Now, I, Paul, beseech myself by meekness and gentleness of the Messiah, who in the presence I am base among you, but being absent I am bold toward you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with you with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as walked according to the flesh. Okay, he's known to be contentious and fight for his position. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Messiah. The obedience of the Messiah. Do ye look on these things at the outward appearance? If any man can trust himself that he is in the Messiah, let him of himself think again that he is of the Messiah. So we are in the Messiah. All right. 1 John 2. They who think they are in God but do not obey his commandments are a liar. And here's the kicker. Yeshua comes to refresh that holy covenant. He comes to remind us of the holy covenant. Okay, that moment happened. That was Exodus 19 when they accepted the holy covenant. Then Exodus 20 is where Jehovah gives them the conditions. Okay. Zacharias tells us in Luke 1, that's New Testament, Luke 1, what Yeshua is coming to remind us of, and it's that holy covenant. And then, so there is the obedience right there. We're going to read it here in a little bit about, in Peter, that the judgment starts in the house of God. Because they do not obey. They do not obey the gospel of God. And the righteous barely make it. That doesn't go with what they're teaching today at all. Obedience is fulfilled. Yes. And having the readiness and the revenge and all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on things at the outward appearance? If any man trust himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think again, that as he is Christ, even so we are Christ. Though I should boast some of more authority, which the Lord hath given us edification, not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed. Edification is building up. They're building up. You have to build up on a foundation. That foundation is the rock at Horeb, which I was just talking about. That's where they entered into the Holy Covenant, was at Horeb. That I may not seem as I would terrify you by letters. For this letter say they are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak, and his speech is contemptible. Yet, such as one think this, such as we are in the word by letters when we are absent, such we will be also indeed when we are present. For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but by measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which God hath distributed us a measure to reach us even unto you. All right, weights and measures. Hey, how's it going there, Jetta Window? So we've got weights and measures. Okay. We've got, here's the one side of the scale right here. Here's how people live. Okay, you have to have a measuring stick. If there's a judgment day, and there is, it's coming. All right, what you measuring by? There has to be equal weights and measures. There's not one rule for them, one rule for us. It is equal weights and measures. And there has to be something to measure by. That is the Ten Commandments. It's the covenants of promise. We'll get to that here very shortly in Ephesians 2. Read Ephesians 2 verse 12. Okay. Not boast things without measure, but to preach the gospel in regions beyond you, and not to boast in another man's line of the things made ready to our hand. But he that glorieth, let him glory in Jehovah, not for he commandeth him self-approved, but whom Jehovah commendeth. Would to God ye here bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. As I try to read the KJV, bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. And this is chapter 11 here. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. I have espoused you to one husband, that I may be present with you, a chaste virgin, to the Messiah. But I fear lest any means as a serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in the Messiah. That is the simplicity that's in the Messiah, okay? Obey his commands. Those who obey my commands, they love me. You know, it's John 14, verse 15. If you love me, obey my commandments. Boom. 4, it is he that cometh, preaches another Jesus, whom ye have not preached. Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might bear with him. Okay, I've spoken about, we just went through that 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4 is this gospel that a lot of people put out, and they say, and it's no more. In those verses, it tells you everything I told you already, and this and this and this, and more. Verse 5 starts with and. Okay, so there is people out there putting out a gospel that is totally incomplete. What do we say? It's from edification. Edification is building. They're only giving you like a doorway in this building. Just a door with no foundation, no walls, no windows, no roof, just a door. And they're saying that's the whole thing and no more. Oh, 1 Peter 4, verse 17. Judgment starts in the house of God. I'm telling you, man. All right. For I suppose I was not wit behind the chiefest apostles, but I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Okay? But we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. I'm on verse 7 here. A lot of my comments that I put in here is not to tickle anybody's ears. It's not. It doesn't make me popular at all, but I will tell my friends, my family, my neighbor, I love my neighbor as thyself, because I don't want to see them burn in the fiery pit. But they don't like to hear it, I'm telling you. Have I committed an offense, abasing myself that ye might be exalted, because I have preached to you the gospel of God freely? I have robbed other churches, taking wages of them to do you service. And when I was present with you and wanted, I was chargeable to no man. For that which lacking to me, the brethren which came from Macedonia supplied, and in all things I have kept myself from being a burden some unto you, and so I will keep myself. As the truth of Messiah is in me, no man shall stop me of this boasting in the regions of Achaia. Therefore, because I love you not, God knoweth, but that I do, and I will do, and I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, wherein the glory they may be found even as we. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of the Messiah. And no marvel, for Satan himself transformed into an angel of light. That's that ear-tickling words that they put out for folks. Okay? They want to tickle your ears to get you there, to fill up the plate. When I rebuked our church about their pagan Christmas, okay, and they're putting up green trees next to the altar, okay, just literally green trees next to the altar in the Old Testament that says that's way bad, okay? You don't do it. So when I bring this to them, they say, "Oh, but that's how we bring people in. You bring people into the church, you're not bringing them into the kingdom of God that way." No, you have to, spirit and truth. We must worship in spirit and truth. There is nothing true about these pagan traditions that we do today. Nothing true about it. Man, I say again, let no man think me a fool. Otherwise, yet a fool receive me, that I might boast a little. That which I speak not after the Lord, but as it were foolishly in this confidence of boasting. Seeing that many glory after the flesh, I will glory also. For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing yourself are wise. I mean, it's all here, folks. But for years, I didn't even pick up the book. And then I did years of these little, the little studies, I don't know, the little YouVersion studies, being a better guy, be a better man, and all these little guided studies that get you off of, they get you off the milk. You don't even get past the milk with that stuff. For ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, but if a man devour you, if you take him from you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. I speak as concerning the reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit there, whensoever any is bold, I speak foolishly. I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of the Messiah? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths often. Of the Jews, 5 times I received 40 stripes, save one. Thrice I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I was suffered a shipwreck. A night and day I have been in the deep, in journeyings, often in perils, waters and perils, of robbers and perils, of my own countrymen in perils, by the heathen in perils, in the city in perils, in the wilderness in perils, in the sea in perils, among false brethren in perils. We are in perils everywhere out there. Okay, he's talking about actually getting beat up, and it's not to that yet, but so he is in the perils. Okay, he's going to say in weariness and painfulness and watchings and hunger and thirst and fastings often and cold and nakedness, besides those things where are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. Okay, the care of all the churches. He understands that loving thy brother is looking after him. Loving thy brother is keeping them on the straight and narrow road. And look at the hardships he goes through just to do that. Who is weak, and I am not weak? Who is offended, and I burn not? If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern mine infirmities. The God and Father of Messiah Yeshua, which blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. Okay. So what he's just said throughout that whole thing is, it's not his glory that he's getting through this. It's because the Father that he's able to get through this. And his son. In Damascus, the governor under Atreus, the king, kept the city of Damascus with a garrison, desirous to apprehend me. And through a window in a basement, in a basket, I was let down by the wall and escaped his hands. Gentle as a dove, smart as a serpent. You gotta be gentle as a dove, smart as a serpent. It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Messiah. I knew a man in the Messiah above 14 years ago. Whether in the body I cannot tell, whether out of the body I cannot tell. God knoweth. Such a one caught up to the third heaven. I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body I cannot tell. God knoweth. For how he was caught up unto paradise and heard the unspeakable words which is not lawful for a man to utter. Of a one I will glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in mine infirmities. For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. He's talking about that thorn in his side. It's always a question. But it was put there so he stayed humble. Okay, what a gift. Okay, because John 14, verse 15. If you love me, obey my commandments. Then I will pray to the Father that he assigns you the second comforter, the Spirit of truth that other people can't understand. Okay, when you obey his commandments, you do the Sabbath day, which starts at sunrise Saturday to sunrise Sunday. And you get in the Word, sunrise Saturday to sunrise Sunday. Okay? And you stay with him. It gives you a huge long time to break these things down. Get that knowledge of God. Get close to him. Okay? When you forego the idolatry, the first one for me was that getting rid of the Christmas. Okay, and then I researched Easter, and we were doing Easter wrong too. It's called Passover, but Deuteronomy 12 and Deuteronomy 16 say you can't do these feasts outside of the city or outside the land where he puts his name. That's Jerusalem. Okay. For a couple of years, we did the feasts, and we said that, oh, we're the temple. Well, it's not about the temple. It's about the place he puts his name. All right, it's not a temple. Okay, we don't have any Levites. We don't. To me, all my sheep are good sheep. Okay, well, are any of them spotless? No, they just got spots on them and stuff. We don't have the knowledge to do the feasts right, so we're profaning the feasts if we're doing them outside the land. This is a time of exile, mourning and woe. Read Lamentations, okay? This is like super deep, but read it with that lens on, like, oh wow, he just tells you straight up, don't do these feasts. So, Hosea, I think it's Hosea. We fled from the lion and then got hit by the bear. And then we went to lean up on a wall and a snake bit us. That was kind of the deal. But God's long suffering. He knows that we're stupid. Okay, but we'll get it if we keep in it. And you know how? I shared the talents. Okay, I didn't have all the answers, but I shared what talents I had, and then I got more. So it's kind of cool. So here we go. I don't even know where I was. Lest I should be exalted above measure through abundance of the revelations that I was given to me, for a thorn in the flesh, a thorn in that flesh. There we go. And then here's verse 8, 12 verse 8. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Okay, my grace. What's his grace? Teddy, you know what his grace is? Edward? How about Jackham? You know what that grace is? The grace is the divine influence on your heart. And it's measure in life, or it's a reflection in life. Divine influence on the heart and its reflection in life. That's straight out of the Strong's Concordance. Okay? Right out of there. That would be the Greek dictionary of the New Testament. Okay? That's charis is the word. His grace is sufficient. Okay? Man. The divine influence on your heart. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of the Messiah may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for the Messiah's sake. For when I am weak, I am strong. I am become a fool in glorying. Ye have compelled me, for I ought have been commended of you for in nothing. I am behind the chiefest of apostles. I am the very chiefest of apostles, though I be nothing. Truly, the signs of an apostle were wrought among you in the patience, in the signs and wonders and mighty deeds. For what is it wherein inferior to other churches, except it be I was myself not burdensome to you? Forgive me this wrong. Forgive me this wrong. Behold, the third time I'm ready to come to you. I will not be burdensome to you, for I seek not yours, but you. For the children ought not to lay up for parents, but parents for the children. And I will very gladly spend and be spent for you. Though the more and more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. But be it so, I did not burden you. Nevertheless, being crafty, I caught you with guile. I caught you in a lie. But I did make you gain by you. Any of them I sent unto you. I desire Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make a gain of you? Walked we not in the same spirit? Walk we not in the same steps? Again, think ye that we excuse ourselves unto you? We speak before God in the Messiah, but we do are all things dearly beloved for your edifying, for building you up. For I fear lest when I come I shall not find you as such as I would, that I should be found unto you, such as ye would not, lest there be debates, envyings, wrath, stripes, backbiting, whispers, swellings, and tumults. Just look at the comment section. And lest when I come again, my God will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned already, and have not repented of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. What is that? They turn the grace of God into lasciviousness. And he just tells us of this lasciviousness stuff, which they have committed, and the uncleanness and the fornication they have not repented from. That's like not even in this gospel I was talking about that these people are putting out, this incomplete gospel that's full. The churches are full of it. This is the third time I am commanding you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. I told you before and full told you, as if I were present the second time, being absent now, I write to them, which thereto have sinned, and to all others that I come again, I will not spare. Since ye seek a proof of the Messiah speaking in me, which to you words is not weak, but is mighty in you. For though he was crucified through weakness, yet we liveth by the power of God unto salvation. For we are also weak in him, but we shall live with him by the power of God towards you. Examine yourselves whether ye be in faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yeshua Messiah is in you, except ye be reprobates. Looks like M.K. McElroy, he was a reprobate. Yes. But I trust that ye shall know we are not reprobates. Now I pray that God ye do no evil, that not ye we should appear approved, but ye should do which is honest, though we as reprobates. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. What's this truth? The truth is his commandments. That is Psalms 119, like 172 or something. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. For we are glad when we are weak, and ye are strong. And this also we wish, even in your perfection. Therefore I write these things, being absent, lest I be present, should use sharpness, according to the power which God hath given me to edification, not to destruction. Finally, brethren, Revelations 3:19. Okay, Revelation 3:19 is, I love who I chasten. I love who I correct. Finally, brethren, farewell, be perfect, be of good comfort, be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be with you. Where do we find peace? When we're in covenant with him, there's a blessing there. That blessing is peace. Greet one another with a holy kiss. All the saints salute you. The grace, the divine influence of our heart, of Yeshua Messiah, and the love of God and the communion of the Holy Ghost be with you all. Amen. That is all of the Corinthians. I think next we go into Romans. Okay, so this is the Blue Letter Bible app, Bible in a Year chronologically. It makes way more sense chronologically, folks. And I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.